This is Pong. This primitive yet addictive arcade game is one of the earliest to grace home console television sets. Its iconic bleeps and bloops echoed throughout many households beginning in the early to mid 1970s. Pong machines varied slightly between manufacturers, but they all shared a similar technology, the Pong on a chip. Many manufacturers produce their own variants of this discrete logic chip, but they don't contain any programmable logic, meaning there's no microprocessor or memory. These chips can do one thing and one thing only, play Pong, and other variations of Pong. And since there's no microprocessor, that means there's no AI. So you either need to play this with a friend or play with yourself. What'd you think he meant? While Pong machines remained in production well into the 1980s, the video game industry was forever changed by the introduction of the Fairchild Video Entertainment System in November of 1976.
The Fairchild Video Entertainment System at your larger JCPenney. The home entertainment system that never gets old. Plug in a new video cart and change the fun. Play tic-tac-toe, shooting gallery, or just doodle. Switch video carts and play Desert Fox. Switch again, it's blackjack. Or play the two built-in games, Pro Hockey or Tennis Champ. That's right, it turns 40 this year. If it were a real person, it would be buying a sports car and shopping for a new leather jacket. The VES, later rebranded as the Channel F, is the first video game console to use interchangeable ROM cartridges. The Channel F's fake wood grain and angular spaceship design just screams 1970s. So this was really the first console to feature a microprocessor, an 8-bit microprocessor. And what better person to discuss the technical specifications than the 8-bit guy?
Hey guys.
So David, tell us about what's inside of this thing.
Alright.
Designed by Fairchild engineer Jerry Lawson, the Fairchild Channel F was built around the company's own powerful 8-bit microprocessor, the Fairchild F8, operating at 1.79 MHz. To put that in perspective, the Apple II, released approximately 7 months later, used a MOS 6502 clocked at just over 1 MHz. The early F8 CPUs were divided into 3 separate 40-pin packages as opposed to a single integrated circuit. With a resolution of 128 by 64, the Channel F was capable of 4 simultaneous colors per line out of a palette of 8 colors, including black and white. The system features 2 kilobytes of video RAM and 64 bytes of system RAM.
So that's only enough system RAM to store each character from my previous sentence and nothing else. Talk about optimized code.
The sound in the original version of the Channel F was generated by a beeper speaker built into the console. The system was capable of generating 120 Hz, 500 Hz, and 1 kHz beeps that could be modulated to produce different tones.
This console was revolutionary in so many ways, but what immediately stands out to me are the controllers. Now, keep in mind, there were no standards for controllers in 1976, so anything and everything was possible. The triangular knob kind of acts like an 8-way joystick, but can also be twisted for paddle games. The stick can be raised and lowered to provide additional functionality. Oh, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say this game is fairly lacking on objective.
Well, you know, I'm sure there's a very detailed story. Actually, let's see. Let me get the box. There's got to be a story. You have been given full control of a fighter spacecraft. Your mission to seek out, pursue, and fire upon enemy vessels. Do you have skill and patience to maneuver your patience? Well, you're really going to have patience for this game.
But it's kind of like there's no real... You just play it. There doesn't appear to be any actual objective.
But in 1976, you were sitting back and seeing this, and you're like, the graphics, look, it's like I'm really flying in space. This is amazing. The cartridges were designed by Nick Talasfor. Before cartridges were developed, changing program ROMs was a task only performed by skilled computer engineers. This involved swapping fragile EPROMs into various sockets, a task that can't be performed by the average consumer. Nick Talasfor drew inspiration from the 8-track cassette, a cartridge-like storage medium primarily used for audio. I wonder... The buttons on the front panel are used to reset the system and either select one of the several Pong variants built into the console, or configure one of the cartridge games. 4 of the 5 buttons were programmable and could be used to select speed, game modes, or different games on multi-game cartridges. 26 cartridges were officially released for the Channel F, not including demo carts and the system's built-in games. Each of the cartridges were numbered, triggering a Pokemon-like craze where OCD gamers felt like they had to catch them all. So David, what do you think about the Channel F?
Well, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but there's actually a system that has worse graphics than the Atari 2600. It seems like, and it's not even a limitation of the pixels. I know it's got a low resolution and low number of colors, but it's like the game designers, it's like every game they just tried to figure out how can we modify Pong so that it looks like something else.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
But the controller is neat. I find it actually easier to hold than, say, an Atari 2600 controller that has that big base on it. And I love the fact that it's got basically like an integrated paddle into it, so you don't have to have a separate controller for that. But I don't care much for the push-in, pull-out. It's too difficult to do while you're playing. I also can't stand the fact that it only has a 3-foot cable and you can't unplug it.
You're married to your TV, basically.
But as far as Pong goes, though, I do think the built-in game it has of Pong is the best version of Pong I've ever seen.
It is fun, yeah. We'll appreciate you stopping by.
All right, well, thanks for having me over.
And thank you guys for watching.
Oh, man. Just one more time.
Dude, you're still here? Here it is. You gotta do this. You gotta get the strike. You gotta get it. Oh man, I can't believe that.
What the heck is going on in there?
And we'll start.
Oh, I'm on the other side.
Oh, that's gonna throw me off. Here, let's swap. Let's create controllers. All right, so if you twist it, you can actually.
Oh.
So it's got a little bit of a. It's a little different than your standard Pong.
So okay, yeah.
So I can actually chase it over on your side of the screen.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get that sucker over there, and I'm gonna get that in.
Boy, this is chaos. Chaos.
Get back over there. Maybe the most fun I've played.